We just had folks saying they have relatives who are work for ICE, and they're all getting mentally prepared to do this with citizens, regardless. That's not even necessary for this to cause this level of alarm. Here is Tom Homan going on and justifying what ICE has been doing.
Got to protect this country.
And you're saying there's no mistakes. No mistakes. That everybody's sent to this prison again with no guarantee of any right.
Pause it. This is the thing, is that this is a completely secondary question. It doesn't matter whether there's no mistakes. Right. Because Homan nor John Carl is in a position to make this assessment. That's why you have due process.
Yes.
That's where that assessment happens. And even if Tom Homan is 100% sure that all of their police work and it's not even police work, all of their thuggery is mistake-free, the point is he is not in a position to make that assessment. That's not the way our system works.
Right.
That everybody's sent to this prison again with no guarantee of any right to have a chance to challenge their imprisonment, any prospect of release, and they didn't go through a full, and none of these people, as you've acknowledged, have gone through a full trial.
We need to read the Alien Enemies Act. We follow the Alien Enemies Act, and you're talking like it's a Title VIII removal. It isn't a Title VIII removal. That's a different procedure.
Yeah, so you're acknowledging without
Congress, without Enemies Act.
So no extended proceedings, no chance to prove their innocence. Somebody's got a bad tattoo.
I'm telling
somebody's
you, we can go.
I mean, you acknowledge tattoos are part of the calculation here. I mean, you might have
There's
a tattoo.
one factor out of many factors. I worked. Have you been in an alien gang squad? Because I have. Tattoos are one of many factors that's going to determine some of the gangs. It's not the only one. You can't say, okay, tattoo gang member. No, there's other indicia that's added to that tattoo. Tattoo is one factor that adds to other factors that make that determination. What I'm saying is you can't ignore a tattoo. That's one more factor that leads you to believe maybe he's a gang member. It's just not based on tattoos. It's based on a lot of other things, but tattoos one of many. But no one's removed just because of a tattoo.
Secret things. We do other secret things.
We just cite the Real Madrid football team tattoo, but there's a whole bunch of other
tattoos. But there's also you're also forgetting, John Carl, baseball caps.
Yeah. If you have to ask about it, you're not cool enough.
You're not automatically a gang member unless with just a tattoo. You also got to be wearing a baseball cap. I mean, this guy's a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
Just an absolute thug.
How could you say that? He sounds so articulate.
And the other part is that at the very least now, Homan is recognizing he argues that under the Alien Enemies Act, there need to be no due process. The due process is suspended under the invocation of that act.
Great point.
Now, the Supreme Court's going to decide whether you can invoke that act in a period of what is clearly not war. Because if you can invoke that act right now because of the supposed invasion by MS-13 or Trenta de Agua, when can't you?
Yeah. Also, there was the makeup artist that I talked about who had no police record. There was also the man with the autism awareness tattoo that they scooped up just for having tattoos.
There's this guy outlined in El Faro, which is a great Central American paper. U.S. wife Sica deportee. This is Jesus Alberto Ruiz Andrade.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Put it up there. Okay, not just tattoos, baseball cap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was a Lakers fan. Look at that.
Okay.
There's a bunch of gang members watching the Timberwolves win a game last.
Right?
Yeah.
Baseball cap again.
Buying groceries.
Right.
We don't know what's in those bags.
His wife doesn't know if he's alive or dead now.
We don't know what's in those bags. Yeah. Yeah, that's not.
Should also say there is some history here, and I think one of the things that would be interesting is to see what the nature of this deal that the Trump people have with Bukele.
Yes.
In 2015, or prior to 2015, my understanding is that there was an agreement between the then government in El Salvador with MS-13 to essentially tamp down violence in El Salvador, which provided MS-13 with some easing of their business, the business that they were running, and sort of the situation for people who are in prison. And then in 2015, the U.S. government started cracking down on MS-13 in this country. And that one of the ways that Bukele got back into power was to strike a deal with MS-13 to roll back in the sort of those issues. We will not
Send you to America?
We will not send you to America. We will attempt to get you back from America. If you're in their prison system, we will make the prison system here for MS-13 members a little bit more comfortable. We will allow for business decisions to be made out of prison, et cetera, et cetera. And just recently, I don't have this in front of me, the Trump administration released a MS-13 member that the DOJ was apparently
After.
Yeah, was after, and sent back. Here it is, April 10th. Pop this up. Justice Department drop all charges against man it called a top MS-13 gang leader. It dropped all charges against a Salvadoran man. Motion was filed after Pam Bondi and other law enforcement had announced the arrest of Henry Ozu Valentro Santos at a news conference. Now, they may end up sending or trying to send this guy back to El Salvador, but apparently there's a saying in El Salvador about not wanting to be, better to die in El Salvador than to live in a U.S. prison.
I do think it's interesting that Elon Musk and Bukele met at his Texas facility in 2024. Elon Musk also met with Argentinian far-right crypto president, similar ideologically to a guy like Bukele, met with him in Texas also in 2024. Bukele also has a coffee business that's registered in the United States with I think it's an LLC that is in Miami. There's like a lot going on here that we don't know about.
I think there's a lot to come out. We'll see how hard they defend this going forward. But
they're all of these guys, the ones they're involved in crypto. We know that there is a financial deal with the government of El Salvador for this prison exchange system or whatever for taking our deportees. So you got to wonder how, is Bukele getting personally enriched on top of that with a U.S.-based LLC to sell coffee as the head of state in El Salvador.
Side gig.
Part of it is
hustle.
Part of it, yeah. It's his new hustle because the crypto thing. The World Bank's like, hey, if you want these loans, you're gonna have to stop making crypto mandatory for retailers to take. And he's like, oh yes, okay. I'm now the penal colony space exporter to the world instead of the new money utopia guy.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.